Peter Rufai has been laid to rest. I grew up watching Peter Rufai, Atlanta 94 in the United States, and I remember as a child, it was such an amazing experience to see that Nigeria went for the match and they came back with a cup. I can't really remember exactly what, but I know it was Atlanta 94, the likes of Rashidi Yakini, Kanu Nwankwo, Keshi, Stephen Keshi, and a lot of them. But somehow life has taken over, people have moved on, and today he was laid to rest. And amongst the things that were talked is the fact that he died sick and he was sick before he died. And he was very private about his private life because after all, life should be private, right? Um, but the talk of Taribo West about his colleague got a lot of us thinking. He made a comment to say that he would not want any of his children to sacrifice for Nigeria, to do anything for Nigeria. Like they should not even lay down their lives for Nigeria. And it got me thinking, I'm like, what is this? What is happening? You know, these people were champions at some point. They were well celebrated in Nigeria. Everybody talked about them. But all of a sudden, once they are out of the scene, once they are no longer in the pitch of play, they are forgotten. Their light dim automatically. Their light dim instantly. And he said that this guy, I mean, Doyin Mayana, I think El Rufai, say sorry, Peter Rufai, kept begging money in their group platform. He was terribly sick. The government abandoned him. The Lagos State Football Federation still abandoned him. Like he was literally emotional when he was making those comments, and it got a lot of us thinking. And I'm like, is the sacrifices somebody, some people like VDM making for Nigeria worth it? Because he's doing a lot of sacrifice for people who will not pay him back. But I sat down to reason it and I said, well, there is a difference between the kind of sacrifice that VDM is doing and the kind of sacrifice or um the kind of let's say yes sacrifice that the footballers did. Everybody is trying to make sure that Nigeria comes to a point that we sacrifice something for our country, we bring out the best for our country. For VDM, VDM is actually like a symbol for the poor masses. VDM actually stands for hope for a Nigerian that does not have a voice, like a voice of the voiceless. Because I used to wish that this comes from the pulpit, somebody wearing a cassock. But sometimes, if nobody is willing to go, God can raise even the stones to do that, right? So it's not in us to choose who would be the scapegoat or who would be our mouthpiece in Nigeria. So VDM for me is doing something different from what people like the footballers, national heroes are doing. Footballers actually go to play, they come back with honors, and they are actually in the space of or the pitch of football for a particular season. And once that season is over, somehow you fade out of the scene and nobody gets to know you. And that was it for you. But somebody like VDM grew up in the streets. He's actually on the internet, social media, and he's getting his familiarity and fame from there. He's not even associating with the ups and mighty. He's actually associating with the loose, the people that don't have the voice, people that nobody can talk to or talk for. He speaks out for them, right? So I am thinking and I believe that his services will not be in vain for Nigeria because what he's doing at the moment is what Nigerians need. Just like what we see people like Martin Luther King Jr. did, people like what's cocaine, sorry, we were like a liberation movement for the people that cannot say anything. But these ones went to play like this is a national thing, you understand? It's a different ballgame entirely. So what I would tell anybody is don't hope on the government. I don't know if we've not gotten to a point, at least me, Nigeria don't happen to me severally. I don't want to recount them in this video. Nigeria has happened to me. I don't want to say it's still happening to me. But You should get to a point that you would know that if you are a footballer or if you're working anything in the national, in international scene, state scene, as long as you're holding that position, you're still relevant. Once you leave that position, you are not relevant again. That's why I would encourage anybody, if you want to still be relevant for yourself, do something personal for yourself. Yes, either you get on the internet space if you want to, or have a business, because you see those things you do. I'm actually director of states for this. I'm working in the federal government of this. Immediately you leave that place, I'm sorry to tell you, you don't have relevance again. You don't have, nobody remembers you. Check our past political leaders. Check out people that have worked in the government or they have worked with the states. Immediately you are out of the office, you're irrelevant. So that is what it is. So if you are there and you have what it takes, build yourself, build capacity, build financial strength, build human resource strength, because it goes choke. Understand? Build an atmosphere of financial, emotional, people based. Look for something else. You are actually like a, you are not going to be permanent there, and you will not be remembered forever. Legends are people that even last for 100 years. So how many persons will be remembered for 100 years? I think one of the persons that's going to be breaking that record or is breaking that record at the moment is even Michael Jackson. A lot of persons, 5, 10 years after they are dead, nobody remembers them. They are gone. They just fade away like light. So once you are in the pitch of play, you are relevant. Immediately you are out of the pitch, nobody remembers you. So once they stop playing football, that is the end of it. So for that number of years that they're playing football, 5 years, 10 years, that is when they're relevant. So while you're playing the ball, I think some people are becoming wise these days. Get things behind the scene done. You could see that JJ Okocha is somehow is still relevant. You still see him here and there doing one or two things, right? Adverts, ambassadorial deals, Kanu, the same thing, his wife too. That is what you can do for yourself. If you think Nigeria will carry you on their head like Mata, like Akara all the time, it's not possible. But for me here, I wanted to say that the government, you know, should, it's something that we've always known. Keep saying government should not. Nigeria is a big deal. I don't know, like it's a big deal. Prepare yourself for your health if you have what it takes. Prepare yourself for your old age. Prepare yourself for miscellaneous emergencies. Everything you need, because haven't you seen disappointment before? You so much hope on this person, so much hope on your child, so much hope on a husband, and maybe somehow the child dies and leave you. Somehow the marriage gets divorced or separated. Somehow, so you see this life. What I have learned in recent times, and I'm sharing it with everybody because it came as a revelation to me recently, is prioritize yourself. You are very important. After God is you. If you're sick, how would you do those things? If you don't take care of yourself and you carry other people's matter on your head, how would you be relevant? For us, we are doing journalism analysis of events, right? That's a different thing. But when you're basically all your life is all about other people, you don't want to grow. Nigeria will happen to you, because a time will come you realize that as you're out of that position, that is how you are out of sight. In short, out of sight is out of mind. Out of sight is out of mind. Nobody should deceive you. These are politicians that have been in the office for years, those that have been that occupy positions. Mainly they leave the office, who remembers them? No, let's be sincere. No matter the money they have, no matter what they have, that is the end. That is the end. So our sympathies to Peter Rufai's family, Taribo West. It's okay. We understand your emotional pains, but as Nigerians, you people even had one or two positions while you were there. Like, let me say, you people had national honor at some point. There are Nigerians that will never have that kind of honor. As a Nigerian, I mean, they give now this advice now. As a Nigerian, take care of yourself. Build capacity for your old age. If you have what it takes, prepare for health emergencies, prepare for miscellaneous. Nigeria is a tough terrain, especially if you don't have what it takes. You will need to struggle. In church, you go do like this. Like Gege will talk, you go do like this. You know they feel me. I mean they feel me so. You go do like that before you survive. So that is what it is. I hope the labor of our heroes will not be in vain. Guys, what do you think?